Pretty little clues. Pretty little clues. Pretty little clues. Come on in, kick off your shoes. There's trouble hiding in the news. A missing name, a broken chain. Nothing around here feels the same. Coffee's hot, the board's lit up. Red string tangle, we're out of luck. A small town secret, a midnight call. One tiny clue could crack it all. Got our eyes on every lie. Reading shadows, reading signs. No backing down, no second guess. We're getting closer with every step. Pretty mysterious, pretty loud. Running through the smoking crowd. Pretty reckless, breaking through. We're chasing pretty little clues. Pretty twisted, pretty wild. Every suspect's got a smile. Turn the page, uncover the truth. Welcome to Pretty Little Clues. Old headlines fading into gray, but the secrets never fade away. What's been buried? What's been lost? Every answer comes with a cost. Every timeline, every lead, every promise, every deed. One wrong move, one hidden face could blow apart the whole damn case. Heartbeats racing, lights flash red, following the threads instead. No turning back, we've got a fuse and we're lighting it with glow. Pretty mysterious, pretty loud. Running through the smoking crowd. Pretty reckless, breaking through. We're chasing pretty little clues. Pretty twisted, pretty wild. Every suspect's got a smile. Turn the page, uncover the truth. Welcome to Pretty Little Clues. Turn it up, hear the sirens sing. Everybody's hiding something. Locked up secrets, stolen nights. We're bringing every ghost to life. From the back roads to city lights, we're chasing shadows through the night. One more question, one more move. Everything starts with a clue. Pretty dangerous, pretty bold. Every secret wants control. Pretty haunting, coming through. We're chasing pretty little clues. Pretty fearless, breaking rules. Digging deeper than we're supposed to. If you're curious, join the crew. Welcome to Pretty Little Clues. Pretty loud, pretty wild, pretty mysterious, pretty little clues, pretty little clues, hey, pretty little clues.
Oh, hello, everyone. I'm gonna say hi. Hello, Ash. Ash, you know who this is? Yeah, so I'm super excited, guys. I'm not gonna do the whole hi, everybody, and say hi to everyone specific because we are joined today by a very special guest who I'm very excited to talk to. And if anyone doesn't recognize who he is, we'll call him Kid. This is Annie and Tommaso's neighbor, everybody. So
What's
welcome
up, folks?
in.
How y'all doing?
Mater and Tater's, or Tater and Mater's neighbor. Yep.
That's it.
All right.
Such
Well,
a
hello.
distinguished little, privilege, I guess.
Yeah. I was super last minute, and then I didn't realize until literally I like 5 minutes before we started that I put it for PM, so this is like extra super last minute for everybody.
Oh. Oops. The old
We'll make
A&T.
it work. So how's your Saturday so far?
Been nice and quiet. Yeah, just had to gonna put up a short on my YouTube channel. We donated a car to Wounded Warriors program, so we had an old 2007 Jeep that we never drove and was just sitting there and collecting dust. So we decided to donate it and have someone else can use it as needed. So
Awesome. Oh, thank you, Ash, for sending these over. I was telling him about them, but I couldn't find them, so he sent me over all of those logs that I was looking for.
I hope that's all of them.
Well, it'll do at least. So yeah, we were talking before, so I guess I'll ask some of the same questions. How long have you been neighbors with the mysterious duo?
well, so that house sold in March of I think 2023, 24. So they've only been there maybe a year, I think, at most. Yeah, so it would have been March of 25. So this house, the house that we're in, we've been here for 4 years, but it's the house my wife grew up in. So we've been here in this neighborhood a very long time. My wife can point out everybody that's pretty much lived here. And there's probably only 3 or 4 that are just the orig back from 1968 when the neighborhood was being built. So
Yeah. Did you have a lot of interaction with them, or?
never, I didn't even know they lived here until this whole thing broke down. It was the third, I think it was the Thursday night after she was abducted. Someone came to the door. It was like three detectives came to the door from Marana. They were helping out and were asking if we had any video. They saw we had a bunch of Ring cameras, and they were wondering if we had any video footage from the night that she was abducted. And we're like, that was kind of weird because we're like 5 miles away. We're not in the same neighborhood as Nancy. And so we were kind of like, what's going on? That doesn't make any sense. Maybe they're just, casting a wider net, I guess. I don't know. And then I was watching, I have every other Friday off, and I was watching Fox News the next morning. And the guy was literally doing a story of here's the route that Nancy would have taken to get to Annie's house, and in the Uber. And so he's driving along, and you kind of you see all the landmarks that he's going by, and it's like, oh, he's at Oracle and Orange Grove, and he's making a left turn. Weird. Okay. Goes down about a mile and a half, and there's the Circle K. Oh shit, he's turning right. And that's really kind of the entrance into our neighborhood. It's like, what's going on right now? This is weird. And then he goes down the hill, and if you go straight, you'll go down my street, and if you branch off to the left, you'll go to her house. And he branched off to the left, and then parked right in front of the house. And my wife was like, that house just sold about a year ago. Because my wife wanted to actually potentially buy that house, and because she liked the way it looked. And and then they went to a drone footage over the house, overlooking it. And then so I went out in my backyard. I'm like, oh my god, there's the drone right there. So just bizarre, really bizarre.
Yeah. And that was, you said, what, like the Thursday after Nancy went missing, that they came and asked?
Yeah, that was the Thursday was when they came and asked. Friday was when we realized that Annie and Tommaso lived in the neighborhood. They're directly behind us, but they're not the house directly behind us, but the house across the street from the 2-story behind us. And so, yeah, they're really close.
Like, did you see anything like weird going on before that at all? Like anything notable?
Never. I used to always drive down that street anyways when I come home from work, because we have a series of speed bumps on our street, because there used to be kids here a long time ago, but there's not anymore. Everybody's grown up and old. So we have these like annoying speed bumps, which they don't have on their first street. So I take that one, so I don't have to. I can avoid the speed bumps. But
Yeah.
so it's kind of surreal in a way.
Yeah, I'm sure you didn't expect your life to kind of
No.
be
No,
podcast out
no.
there.
And then one day, I think it was the Tuesday after that, I had found JLR's stream, and he was live streaming over out in front of Nancy's house, Nancy's house, and I don't know, he got some tip that something was going on over at Annie and Tommaso's. So now I'm like, what? Now I'm like, okay, what's going on? So he packed up all his stuff and drove over to parked in front of the 2-story house, and he had his camera on there was the FBI talking to the neighbor, the homeowner. And I watched him walk around into the backyard, and one of the FBI guys goes up over my fence and was looking into my backyard. I'm like, what the hell? And so I can't have my cell phone or anything in the closed area where I work. So I went outside, grabbed my phone, saw that I'd actually had a missed phone call from a 520 number, and then went and so I called it back, and there was no message, and it just literally went straight beep, beep, beep. And then 10 seconds later, it called me back, and it was Agent so and so from Arizona FBI. Is this Mr. Is this kid? We'll just put it that way.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah. And he goes, do you happen to be home right now? We'd really like to walk your property. And I'm like, I'm not home right now, but I can come home. About 30 minutes away. And he's like, yeah, don't take your time. Don't. No rush. We'll all still be here. And when I came home and I drove down the street, I've never seen that many cars on our street before, ever. It was packed, and they had like 4 or 5, FBI agents and maybe a local sheriff with them, and they were walking every single person's property. And so we walked around my whole property. They were looking for anything that may have been discarded. The news channels were going up and down the streets. Had Fox News, talk to me afterwards, and it was just kind of weird. Never had an FBI agent in my house before.
And hopefully never again.
Yeah, hopefully never again. It's like, well, I'm not going to say no. It's like,
right. Yeah.
Yeah,
no, you don't want to make yourself look suspicious.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to do that. Yeah. Hell no.
Yeah. And as far as you're aware, I mean, did your cameras catch anything that they thought was?
Because I brought them over from our other house, and our other house overlooked a main street that was traffic 24/7, and so I had dialed back the settings so that it would only record if somebody pulled into the driveway.
Yep.
And so these driveways are so much. This house sits on almost a full acre, so and it's set way back from the road, and
right.
I can get probably 15 cars in my driveway. It's that far back, and
wow.
And open. And so we didn't, it didn't catch anything. It wouldn't have caught anything. Now I've adjusted it since then, and so I'll get notifications if a car goes by, but we don't get a lot of traffic mainly because of those speed bumps. Nobody likes to go down our street. They really put them in because it was kind of a cut through to get from Oracle to La Cañada, and so they put them in because people were speeding, I guess. I don't know. It was before I moved in.
Yeah, I mean, I did the same thing with my cameras just because I'm on a busy road. So if I had it the full capacity, I would just be catching cars all day long.
Well, and my batteries would, drain.
Right. Yeah.
The solar's not going to keep up with that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, so anything that stuck out to you? I mean, anything you've seen since? Have they been back?
I haven't seen any activity over there in over 2 months. We're probably going close to 3 months. There was times where they, when they got their car back, they always parked the car in the driveway, ready to leave.
Did they just have the one car?
As far as I know, I don't think they have 2 cars. I've never seen anything other than, there was, when they had the security that was there parked out on the street, there was always that guy, and then their one car. But then they went off to an Airbnb somewhere, at some point, and then nobody was there except for the security guy. So, but then once Nano said they were cleared, everybody left. And they did get their car back at some point, and then they were there for a while. You'd see some activity, but literally for the last 3 months. The only activity that I've ever seen is the pool guy cleaning the pool. There's never trash cans out or recycling out on the days that it gets picked up. It's just never there.
Yeah, I mean, I know that we've had a couple of our friends that have been back there. Alex, I think, did Juice go back there once? But I know that
I
I know
someone
there's
was
been a
coming
few
around with
jobs.
signs or something, a lady, and she actually went up to the door and had an interaction with not Annie or Tommaso,
Oh,
someone
that was
else.
when Alex was there. I think she, yeah, she went right in the back of the house.
Interesting. That's bizarre too. I know that I think it was either Mark the Shark. I think had an interaction with Tommaso. He was out filming on the street, and
That's right.
Tommaso
Yeah,
came
yeah,
out
yeah.
and told him to get out. Get lost, and he did. He turned around and left. But I think that's really the only interaction I knew.
Do you know if they had any like security cameras before any of this?
I have no clue, no idea. Yeah, I know they put up the same kind of no trespassing signs that are in front of Nancy's, and I would assume that they have
Hmm.
security cameras, similar to what they install over at Nancy's house. So um,
Yeah.
I wonder if we had a package that said it was delivered, but um, never showed up at our house. So I don't know if it got confused with their house or not. But I'm not gonna
Hmm.
go. I'm not gonna go look.
Yeah, come on, take us with you. Just head over there.
No, no.
No, I'm just teasing.
I've never met them, so I don't. They wouldn't know me from
Yeah.
Adam. So
Do you know any of like the other neighbors around them?
we know a couple of neighbors. Like I said, there's the across the street neighbors from us. She's one of the originals. The kind of next door to her, there's the kids are in that house. They're from the original family, kind of like us. And then I know my next door neighbor, but that's you don't. You're so spread out and apart. You don't. I have met since the FBI came and did that whole sweep. We've met a few of the neighbors that are new to the neighborhood. There's a couple down the street, across the street. They got a new kid. And, they're young, so
So anyone say that they've caught anything that you're aware of?
no. When I talked to those, when I was out going to get my mail, was there walking by, and
Or
they're like, "Hey, let's introduce ourselves now that we want to get
maybe
to
we should know each other now.
Yeah. And so they were walking their dogs and pushing the stroller, and so we met them, but it was other than that, we haven't really had much interaction with really any of the neighbors.
Yeah, that's interesting. Uh,
And I'm gone
Ash,
so much. I'm gone for the entire day at work, so
right?
we're never home to even really. It's in the wintertime it gets dark here so early, and it's dark when I leave and dark when I come home.
Yeah. Ash, did you have anything before I pull these
No, do
logs up?
do
I just
that
want to show
first.
them. Yeah. I'm gonna show you the Wi-Fi logs and just see if you have any thoughts on them. So, like I said, this is from a website that anybody can pull. So we did it of their neighborhood. Oh, see, I wish I had mine because yours
I
is
know.
more.
Was that Nancy's neighborhood?
Uh,
During the time?
no,
Both,
yours. I
both
think.
Ours.
Nancy
Oh,
and around
cool.
yours.
Yeah,
And it happened so late at night. I wouldn't have known if my internet was out or not. It's,
yeah.
but we're on. I'm on. Just the cable network. So, uh, the Wi-Fi is inside the house and it doesn't go very far out. So
Yeah. Sorry, I'm like really trying to see if I can find the ones that I had because it's a little bit closer, just zoomed in on their house. That it has like really. Let me just see if I can pull up the website quick. Hold on. is what I'm trying to remember what their address was. Like something Turnarrow.
Yeah,
925.
92925. Yeah.
Ah, thank you. Sorry, carry on. Do you have any questions for him while I'm doing this, Ash?
Trying to think. What were the dates? Because there was two, wasn't there?
12/28 and 1/11, I think.
When was the date Nancy was gone? That was the first, wasn't
That
it?
was the first, yeah.
31st and the 1st, yeah.
And then I think the January 11th date was when they got the picture of the guy without the backpack. It's still.
So I don't suppose there was any like activity around like the sort of 31st or with extra cars because they were supposed to be at a dinner at Tomatoes then. Was that the 31st?
Yeah, that was on the night of the 31st, right? So
Yeah.
that they Ubered her over and then supposedly drove her back home. You know, and you know, when he dropped her off, was it 2-3 minutes for the garage door going open and then closed? And if they got the same garage, my garage door will tell me exactly, you know, when it goes up and opens and closes. It sends an alert to my phone. So if they have that same garage door opener, they would know.
Yeah. So what I think, I mean, obviously you've been watching JLRs, you probably have heard all of the things, all of the theories and everything from, here to the moon, basically.
Yeah.
But my thing, I wonder if they were talked to. I mean, you guys weren't obviously told not to speak to anybody
No.
or anything.
No. Not at
So
all.
do you think it's weird that like the neighbors in that area are first of all so rude, but second of all just aren't talking to anyone?
There's a couple of neighbors I think in Nancy's neighborhood that are talking to JLR because I know they've had a dinner or something at one of the. I think she lives in the neighborhood.
Lauren?
Yeah, I think Lauren lives in the neighborhood, but I'm not 100% sure. Or nearby, one of the two. But yeah, that is their house right there.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna make this so we can get it a little bit bigger. Apologies, everybody. I know it's not ideal, but so these are, if you can see, like all of these little red dots that
Yeah.
are here. You can probably see it better this way. So these are all the different devices. So there's Wi-Fi, cellular, Bluetooth. So all of these, it's 12/28 is like the connect date, 12/28/25 to 1/11 of 26. And I mean, even still, I just pulled this. Like this is fresh. There's nothing else, past that date or, prior to, at least for some of these. So you didn't see that activity starting anytime before then, like anything weird, a lot of vehicles or anything.
No, not that I can remember. To be honest, I don't. Pay a lot of it. I never really paid attention until all this started. And all the media was parking across the street there, on the other side of Tenero, and that's where everybody was parked and staged.
Like here.
Yeah.
And see, that's weird to me because obviously it hasn't like picked up. Because like Nancy's house, like almost everything is completely like wiped off the log because it's kind of like a revolving window. So once it fills up, then it starts knocking off the old stuff.
Yeah.
So the fact that this is still here and didn't pick up all of like the media is interesting to me.
Yeah, because that whole street was packed with media.
Yeah.
In the early days of when this happened.
So, I mean, we obviously like this is their last name. So obviously, that these were their devices. And then let me see where it is because this was like the palace. So these are the device names. Obviously, your phone would say,
Yeah.
kid's phone or whatever. So all of these devices are, well, obviously you can see the ones that are on the street or whatever. But even if I zoomed in, here, let me just, no, I don't want it to take a query away because you only have so many. But anyways, you can see, but then you have devices like White House.
Yeah, I can see that one. I can actually see White House from my casita.
So that is actually still there.
Yeah.
But
That's
pay dirt,
And Big Cliff, I can see that one from when I'm in my casita.
pay
okay.
dirt.
Oh yeah, pay dirt.
I haven't seen that one before, but White House and Big Cliff I've seen. And my casita's on the backside of my property, so it's it'll be closer to them. Little
Yes.
Cliff, yeah. There's a Big Cliff and Little Cliff, so I'm assuming those are at the same place.
So I mean, some of these obviously maybe like could be some sort of smart lights like in the front of their house, but to have like all of these devices, and I just think it's so weird. But now that we know that they were still connected, and I'm glad that we talked to you because now that I know that they're still connected, then obviously it might not be anything nefarious at all.
Yeah.
It's just weird that we had all of these here on the 11th. Okay, that's someone else's. So what kind of car did they have?
I think it was a Honda.
Okay, it must have been an older one, hey.
It was. It wasn't
Okay.
a good one. It wasn't nothing, that I would think would have Wi-Fi or anything in it like today's cars.
Yeah. So I'm
With my
wondering
truck, they Ford
what
sends
is
updates all the time.
yeah.
So it's always connected to the internet. That's why it's weird. I'm surprised they haven't done like a geofence around Nancy's house to kind of see what traffic, isolate all the traffic that was, during that time window, and then kind of, see what devices are from where, and did one leave around the time that, when she disconnected when she lost connect to her heart rate monitor on the in her phone.
Right. And I mean, obviously, this being it's what is it called? Like war driving, I think is what they call like the collection of data. So basically, from what I've heard, someone like drives around or they do a drone with a certain device and it kind of just scoops up all the data. So it may not necessarily be applicable, may not be applicable to that date. Um, so
But the
yeah.
device, like cellular devices and cars are talking to, all the cellular towers around the house, and they can pinpoint, if they're connecting, they can track those and pretty much watch a car drive through an area if it's connected to the internet, or if they had a cell phone in the car, or any of that.
So that's there, obviously. So I'll just do this because I know that you probably haven't necessarily been watching us and seen any of
I've
this,
actually
but
never been over by Nancy's house.
yeah. So if you pull we pull the data over here, the Bluetooth is what a lot of like the devices kind of knocked out any of the other data. And that's what I was looking for to see if we could find maybe her pacemaker or her smartwatch or anything like that. And because of all the devices.
It's probably such a light signal that because the battery inside her pacemaker is supposed to last 10 to 15 years, right? So you don't want to send out a really strong signal, just strong enough so it can connect to a watch. And Bluetooth is only good for about 30-40 feet anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, exactly. So with her house being 3,300 square feet, she could leave her watch or whatever device it is in her room and be maybe in the kitchen, and you're still going to like
right.
lose that signal potentially. I can't even walk in the kitchen with my AirPods, without it starting to
Yeah.
disconnect. So,
Because
but
it's not like they implanted some huge lithium battery inside her. It's it's if it's going to last 15 years, it's got to be, and it's pretty small. So the amount of stuff that it's connected to is going to be very minimal.
Yeah, so like this kind of like, I don't know if that like geofences the extent of that device, because part of me was like, okay, well, but this would be more of like a Wi-Fi type device. But I mean, could be anything, could be your phone, which I mean, it would connect to the cell tower as well. So all of this is interesting to me anyways, because it also shows the activity in the neighborhood. But everything that jumps out of me is just these weird 12/28 to 1/11 dates. So I was curious to know if you had any or saw anything, but obviously you said you didn't.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have been looking either, because it's not like, there wasn't anything, hey, we saw this weird guy, in a hat, with a mask on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Be on the
No,
lookout, right? That would have been nice. If that would have shown up on my camera, I really think I would have been like, maybe I should get the subscription.
Yeah. Let me get us back up here. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's like been a sticking point for me too, is you're, making how many millions of dollars or however much, and
The,
you're
sub-
not paying what, like $5-10 for a
the subscription is
subscription.
like $250 a year. So it's
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't gonna buy one just because I was being stubborn about it, not because it costs a lot, but you only have so much storage then. And I
right.
was thinking of getting the notification or then saying it's not gonna record anymore. So then I was just like, fine, I'll just pay for it.
Yeah, I
But that's
would.
just interesting.
That's how mine was. But when we started doing all of the work we built a casita. This house didn't have all that stuff that's in the property on the property now. After we moved in, we had sold our house and used the money that we had from the sale of that house, and so we had to clear out all of the overgrown desert that's been there for 60 years. All the cactus and everything. We had to bring in dirt and basically, level out the yard so that we could build the casita, because it was sloped pretty significantly, out to the backyard neighbors, and so we did a lot just to get to where we were at that point. We put a fence around the entire yard. When we moved, when we took out all of the stuff, that all the overgrown desert, we did find an iPad in the back there. So there had been somebody back there at some point, maybe somebody homeless, or I don't know. And we couldn't power up the iPad because the construction equipment just destroyed it. But the fact that it was back there was weird. And then a couple of days after we noticed that, our cameras did catch someone walking through the property. And at that point, I only had just the camera on the on the driveway facing, and the doorbell cam. I didn't have the fortress of cameras that I have now.
What
Yeah.
about the neighbours like closest to you? Did any of them have CCTV cameras and that?
I don't think so. I don't think my next door neighbor has any CCTV, cameras. If he does, you don't see them. They're not like Ring cameras that are, big and, have the solar panels with them like mine. If he does have them, they're probably hardwired in and so forth. I did add a new one recently, and my neighbor was upset that the light was pointing at his house, so I, changed it so it was just pointing straight down at the street. But
Just because someone asked, anyone who is late, this is Annie and Tommaso's neighbor kid. He's joining us today. So we're just kind of having a discussion generally about the case and obviously A&T, because no one knows where the hell they are.
Angela,
know where
thank
they
you
are.
for putting out my YouTube channel there. Thank you. I'm
Did
almost
someone grab it? Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I'm almost to 1,000. I'm at 937 right now, so we're very close. I'm gonna throw a short up today of them taking the car away that we donated to the Wounded Warriors Foundation. So
Yeah, and thank you for doing that. That's very kind of you.
it's close to my heart. I'm ex Air Force, so you know, I work in that profession. So
Are you KNP Kid 266?
yes, I don't know why the 266, but is there 265 other KNP kids? I don't know.
There's just one other one, and it's just KNP Kid.
Yeah,
But it
that's
looks like it's a kids thing.
that's actually my old account. And
Oh,
when I started my YouTube channel, it changed it to KNP Kid 266. So, and that's what I have my premium on, YouTube premium on, and TV. And so it's just like I'm not going to bother changing it at this point.
I just unsubscribed, so you got another one.
Oh, awesome! Thank you.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of any other. I mean, so you've been following it. What are your thoughts? Let's just get general, what are your thoughts on everything?
Everything it's just weird to me that there's nothing out there. With the technology that we have today, there's been cases in Utah where, a girl went missing and, they were able to geofence it to some, Tinder date that they set up, and the guy ended up killing her, and it's like, to me, we have so much technology, and there's just like, it's hard for me to believe that there's just nothing, and I'm in the computer world. I'm a software engineer, so to me, it's just crazy that there's nothing out there at all. We can go into Venezuela, pick out the president out of his house, but we can't find Nancy. I don't know.
Yeah. And I mean, I know in that area because I tried to look it up, way back when, but all of the cameras, like on the main roads, how they have the traffic cameras, they're all down. All
I
of
don't know. See, and to me, I find that hard to believe because I got a ticket when I was, when I used to ride my motorcycle, and I had tucked in kind of between a couple of cars because I got cut at a stoplight and the officer, pulled me over and said I was driving too slow or whatever the ticket was. And I fought it in court, and they had the actual video footage of he brought that to court and I lost. so the major streets all have these cameras, and it's weird for me to say that they're not maybe they're not active anymore, but they're definitely recording something because they had it when I tried to fight that ticket. So
don't they always seem to appear at the least convenient
the
times?
weirdest times. Oh well, why wasn't it working? Wasn't it not working back then?
Right. Yeah. Super weird. And I know that you've been, like you said, conversing with JLR, and I saw that he's back there, and we were talking backstage about that weird guy. What are your thoughts on the weird guy?
We have a homeless problem in Tucson. It's gotten really, really, really bad. I've lived in Tucson for 27 years now, and it did not used to be like this. And ever since COVID, the buses became free, and they just kind of move around, and they're mobile. And fentanyl was really bad. It's like I was driving to work, and I was going by one of the casinos, and there's a bus stop in front of it, and the sign on it, meth 2.0, more dangerous, more deadly. It's like, come on, that's what we're putting on as advertisements, in Tucson. Come to Tucson. Meth is more deadly, 2.0.
They lace and cut things with so many different things now, whatever they can do to make it cheaper. And I mean, obviously they're peddling drugs as it is, so they don't really care at what cost it is to anybody else.
And they camp out at the bus stops, and the bus stop has to have a service that comes out and kicks them out and cleans it down. And it's like there's so much extra that we have to do just because we're not taking care of the problem, right? We're not helping these people find jobs, and a lot of them are young. They're not old. They're very able-bodied, working age citizens that have fell on hard times somehow, and it's we even have signs and on the street corner, you know, at every intersection that, you know, don't hand out money to the panhandlers, donate your money to, you know, the shelters and what have you. So, to me, it's just gotten really bad. You gotta, you know, watch out. Going to around one of the bus stations over by Tucson Mall is people are getting, you know, stabbed on the buses. Bus drivers are getting, you know, stabbed. People trying to go to work are getting harassed by, you know, homeless folks. And, you know, this guy is he's just fell on hard times and walking around looking for anything and everything.
Yeah. So anyone that missed it yesterday, this is outside of Nancy's house, was this gentleman. But you know, it's at the point where anyone that walks around that neighborhood that has a backpack, everyone's like, oh, they're suspicious. No, that he's just homeless.
No,
you know,
he has had nothing to do with this. You know, look at this. Look how skinny the poor guy is. You know, it's sad. My wife actually used to make these little baggies. She'd fill it with, like, you know, protein bars and water, and she would hand them out. But then they started getting kind of, you know, violent with it. It's like, where's the money? And it's like, no. And
yeah.
You know, she stopped doing that. There was, I think, you know, it's crazy that, you know, here we are. One of the days I was coming home from travel, and, you know, the way to get back to the interstate is because of all the construction. You drive by the Pima County Sheriff's Office on Ajo, and, you know, the SWAT came out and went one way, and then there was a couple of sheriffs that were, you know, were literally right behind me. We're stopped at a stoplight. Over to my right, there's 3 or 4 homeless guys that are literally shooting up, you know, right there on the street corner. You could see it. Did the sheriff's department do anything? Nope. They just kept driving. Like, you know, not my problem. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. That's crazy. I mean, it's sad. It's a growing issue everywhere. I mean, I told you I'm from Milwaukee, and they just cleared out. They called it Tent City was the name for that encampment, and it's sad that they're not doing more to help them and putting them out of where they become comfortable or made their little neighborhood. I mean, I guess at least they were focused in one area, but when you tell them you got to get out of here, they're still going somewhere. It's not like they're like, okay, well, I guess I won't be homeless anymore. I'm just going to pack up my stuff and go buy a house. You know, they don't have anywhere to go. Otherwise, they wouldn't be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there was you know, I told you earlier backstage, we had one in Tucson that was right across the, you know, main thoroughfare, right across from the Air Force Base at Davis Monthan. And I think it was called like the Miracle Mile or something. And these people have built some just crazy structures out of, you know, they go find, you know, random pieces of wood and, you know, there were some that were 2-story, that little shanties that were in this field. And every now and then the you know, once a year they'll go in with some heavy equipment, kick them all out, you know, take all the rubbish away and take it all out, and then they won't be there for, you know, 3-4 months, and then they start coming back and then, you know, rebuilding. It's just a never-ending cycle.
Yeah. Okay, so Chance, the night of the coyotes. Oh, did JLR take that video?
I think that was JLR. Yeah.
I want to know where the coyotes were located.
Oh,
Do you have any idea?
they just kind of walk around. And
so is that like a normal thing? That wasn't really anything out of the ordinary.
Very normal. I've had a bobcat out right outside my front window that
no way
cornered he was circling around around I think it's on my YouTube channel. It's one of my older videos. It wasn't even that long ago. It was probably 6 months ago. And he was walking around one of the bushes in there. He had trapped a bunny, and poor little bunny Fufu made the choice to run and didn't get very far. And then Mr. Mr. Bobcat had him as a little snack outside. And then after he had his little snack, he kind of got up and just kind of laid down and on the patio and just was sunning himself. Just right outside my front window.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy.
So they're around. It's like, at that point I had 3 dogs, and it's like, maybe I should close the doggy door. Don't need a bobcat in the house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no.
But
So,
the coyotes, javelinas, there's
Yeah.
large packs of them around here.
there's actually, do you mind if I share this video, your casita beginnings video?
Yeah.
Will you be able to see their house from there, do you think?
I don't think so. I don't think you can, because I think that 2 stories in the way. You can't see it.
All right. I'm going to share it. Because at least give a I don't know, firsthand view of kind of that area.
Yeah, that's when we were pouring the pad for the casino.
So when you built the casita, do you have to go through like a lot of permits? Like, I don't know how.
Oh yeah, I had to get my electrical. The electrical used to span from the pole to the top of the house. I had to get it run underground, and then so that took forever. And then after that was run underground, then I had solar put in on the house and some Tesla backup batteries to power the house, because we've had a couple issues where those lines have snapped because the trees have got overgrown. Yeah, you can see the trench there. That's the trench to for the power to the casita. But yeah, we had a lot going on.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know how it works.
So yeah, we had to kind of move electrical, put it underground, because it was drooping so much that the casita, it would have been like drooping on the roof of the casita. So we had to put that underground, and then we built the pad. Yeah, they poured the pad, and then just went from there. It was a very slow process. I'll put it that way. It wasn't fast.
Yeah. Well, I think the reason I ask is just because, I mean, I saw you also had a home renovation one. Do you also have to get permits when you do that inside the house?
Yeah, we had to put a new septic in. That's the new septic for the casita. That's all the piping for the water to get that out there.
Because I'm just wondering, a lot of people have speculated that Nancy may have had a safe in her house, and I didn't know if you're modifying the actual like internal walls, if you are required to get permits for any of that.
So when we did the inside of the house, we thought the walls that we were removing were structural, but it turns out they weren't. They were not. So because we had an architect look at it, and they weren't structural, so they just you don't have to get a permit to take them out.
You can see a little shadow of the
A
drone.
little shadow of the drone.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. So there was a lot. We did a lot of work to. Yeah, I didn't want to run into that power line over there.
Yeah. Yeah, I just was wondering if, I mean, at least you can kind of see the area a little bit. I was wondering if you'd be able to see A&T's house at all, but
no, unfortunately, no.
So what street is this? Is that Ternero, or is that the one next to it?
No, that's mine. That's Los Alamos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Well, yeah, I was just wondering because I didn't know. So if they were structural, would you have had to have permits?
Yeah, we'd have had to have permits, and they would have had to, have inspection to make sure that they put in the beams properly, the supporting beams, but we didn't have to do any of that.
Yeah. Okay.
And
I was just wondering because if I look, to see if they pulled any permits to put anything in there, but they would only do that if it was like a load-bearing wall, basically.
Well,
right?
I heard that Annie and Tommaso had gotten a site survey done on their property because they did. we had to do that so that we could know exactly where to put the fence and so forth. So yeah, if you're going to do anything like that, you have to get a site survey so you don't infringe on your neighbor's properties.
Let's see. Oh, she wants to know if you heard coyotes that night.
I hear coyotes every night, so we're almost all tuned out of it. So, and I do. I have a dog now. We had to put one down because he was old, and apparently the stress from putting that one down caused the other one blood pressure to rise, which we didn't know that he had a brain tumor.
Oh,
So he started having seizures. So he passed away the next day. And so we're down to one. And he's a small dog. When we had the Shih Tzu, we have a huge, there's a big owl around here as well. And then some large, hawk bird of prey. And he got attacked by the hawk once and the owl once.
oh my gosh.
The owl scared the crap out of me one night because we have a big tree in our backyard, and I went outside to check on the dogs, and he freaking came right at my head, and then right before he just swooped up, and I was like, "What?"
Yikes!
Dive bomb me.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right. Well, looks like other people may have questions. Let's see if anyone wants to join us. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Link is in there. I don't know if I'm going to bring up like a million people at once. So if you are stuck back there for a second, bear with me. You get too many people up here, and then we're all talking over each other. It just never ends well.
I get like 4 people on my stream.
You had how many people?
Like 4.
Oh, well, you're gonna have more today. I don't have a big audience, but
we'll have a bigger audience. Yeah, my stream is gonna kind of go to. I'm gonna have to have surgery on my knee here soon, and again, this will be number 5, unfortunately, on the same knee in the last 2, almost 3 years. I've had a couple of bone infections, but this time the knee replacement, the implant moved, and it's about to poke through the side wall of the bone. So I'm just waiting for the scheduler to tell me when it is, but it's going to be about 6 to 10 week recovery time this time, because they're going to have to basically my tibia is going to be titanium, mostly titanium. It's like I already set off the detectors at the airport, but it's going to be interesting. Those black things on our roofs are solar.
Those are.
Yeah, we don't have like shingle roofs here or tile roofs in this. These are older homes, and so they don't have a big enough slope to put tile or shingles on. So it's an elastomeric product that you roll on every probably 10 years, 10, 15 years, and crazy.
Welcome in, Angel. What's up?
Okay.
Hi. How are you?
I'm doing all right.
Welcome.
I just got some questions for him. I found your channel and I put it in the chat for people that wanted to sub up.
Thank you for that.
I'm putting it back.
That was me who did it.
That was awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, I saw that. Thank you, Angel.
I had a question for you. Was there any dogs out or some kind of any animals that was making noise besides coyotes?
It's mainly coyotes. I don't think we don't get it, or somebody's pet dogs that, were out. I know we have a doggy door, so mine goes in and out all the time, but he never barked. This dog never barks. The other dog that I had that was a barker, he was afraid of everything outside, so he didn't go out very often. He went out to go to the bathroom and then would run back in. But if I got a a delivery from Amazon or anything, and they rang the doorbell, oh my God, that dog would act like he's going to tear your head off. He would literally scare like food delivery drivers. They'd be like, put it on the ground and leave like immediately. He was that scared, but he was it was more show than he had never bit anybody or anything. So
Yeah, more bark than bite.
yeah, definitely more bark than bite.
Look, you have another UKer, Ash, your neighbor, Teresa. Welcome in.
Yo, I was going to ask you to pull up the boxer and the old, one that could possibly be who.
All right. Hey, AV.
Everyone.
Hi, Miss Patricia.
Hello.
A lot of
Gang's
people
all
love it.
here.
Hey, Pretty, can I? Well, I'm kind of busy, but can I ask him a question right quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. How far can you dig on your property in Arizona? A lot of speculation being people have cellars and basements.
There's
Can you
no-
tell? Thank you. There you go. That's what I want you to explain to them. How
There
deep
are
you can dig.
no basements in
Thank you.
houses here. The ground is very, very hard to dig into. Yes, we dig pools and put pools in, but they don't dig basements here because it's caliche. It's like trying to dig through concrete. And so none of the houses have basements here. So if you're a 2-story house, then yeah, you're building up, not down.
Was that it? Did you have a follow-up, AV?
Yes. With the FBI claiming that it was a Wi-Fi outage, and I understand you can't say things with the neighbors talking. Can you confirm or deny the neighbors around you had a Wi-Fi outage?
At that time at night, I would have never known because I was dead asleep. Have no clue and I never looked at, I never got any notifications that my Wi-Fi was down during overnight during that time. So I definitely didn't have any camera video from that just because of the way I had the settings set up because I brought them over from my old house. And so I don't, it just doesn't, I never got anything from Xfinity because we're hardwired in. So we're not connected to, cell towers or anything.
So Infinity would know if it was a Wi-Fi outage that night in the area. Probably.
Potentially, yeah, Xfinity would. But I never got any push notifications from them saying that it was out during that time.
So you had a Ring camera also?
Yeah, I think I had 4 on the front of the house at that point. One on the front left corner, front right corner, the Ring camera, the doorbell camera, and then one on the driveway.
And the FBI never asked you for your camera footage?
No, they did. They came by and asked for it. The Thursday night after she was abducted, a couple detectives it was actually Marana detectives from Marana PD came by about 8 or 9. It was like 8 o'clock at night. That was what was so weird about it because it was dark, pitch dark, and nobody ever rings our doorbell at night unless it's a package, and we weren't expecting any packages. So it was weird, and that was before we knew that Andy and Tommaso had even lived in the neighborhood at that point. And we went through it on my app, and there was literally nothing during that time. From I think it was 9. They were looking from like 9 o'clock until like 2 in the morning, and there was nothing on any of my 4 cameras.
Oh, they stayed there and just watched them for hours?
No, we just kind of scrolled through it, on the Ring app. And
Yeah, but they were there for a long time.
No, it doesn't. It only takes snapshots unless it hits. It only takes snapshots like every 30 minutes. So there's not much on there, unless there's unless it caught something and started recording.
Sorry, I thought you said that they were at your house from like 9 to like 2 a.m.
No, they were looking for the time frame.
Oh, they were looking.
Two,
Okay,
yeah.
9 to 2 a.m.
Yeah.
on the 31st.
Yep.
Into the first. Okay.
Have you reviewed it? Have you reviewed your own camera
Oh,
footage?
yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I actually I had the settings. So, you know, you had to be really close before they would set off. You'd have to be like halfway on my driveway
Okay.
to set them off. But because like I said, I brought them over from our older house, or the house that we had before. And I was in front of a major street and they were going off every, 5 seconds because there's cars left and right. And so I made it so that it would only get on that 20-foot driveway, 25-foot driveway. I changed that now.
So basically you were saying your camera at the beginning it was catching cars before it shut off. Now you switched it to if a car passed by, it's not going to take the picture, but now you back to it again.
No, yeah. So my old house,
I got you.
I changed it, but now that these houses are on a full acre. I was in like one of those cookie cutter neighborhoods before, and so you had a sidewalk and you had your driveway, and then major street in front of your house, and so I dialed it way back in. So if it was on the driveway, but those settings on this house was, they'd have to be way under the property before it would start taking, footage, not if a car drove by. So now I've got it changed. So if a car goes by, I have it.
Don't get in trouble with me asking you this next question.
You're in trouble.
With you seeing Nancy's house and her Ring camera, would that Ring camera pick the Uber driver up, dropping her off in front of the camera and picking her up?
I've never been in Nancy's neighborhood. We're about 5 miles away.
Have you seen the camera, that Ring camera? What you're saying, if the car comes into your driveway, it's going to take a snapshot or a video, right?
Right.
If she didn't dial it. So a Ring camera would pick up a drop off in the delivery.
It should. Yeah, it absolutely should. Yeah. And where's the footage from the camera they took off the pool house? Because if they propped open those back doors, that camera should have had it.
She had two. She had one on her back door, and just like you're gonna have a camera on your casita pointing to the back door, and she had the back door pointed to the. So I agree. They should. Good job. Don't get in trouble, kid. Don't get in trouble.
Well, now I'm just thinking. Okay, so now that you said that if they believed, because AV, I don't know if you know exactly how early on they got the garage timer thing, if they have it. I haven't even gone in to tell him any of my theory yet. We've just been talking to him. But if they were confident and they caught whatever time that was, don't you think it's a little suspicious that if they were only getting footage to confirm that he left at that time, or to confirm that the Uber got there, why wouldn't they be looking from 5 to 10? Why are they looking from 9 to 2?
That's because I think that's when he dropped her off, right? Was it 9 something? So
Allegedly.
So, there's just so many mysteries to this because it's like, again, the camera that was on the pool house that they took off like 2 or 3 days afterwards, right? That thing would have had a clear view of everything that went on in that porch. When if they're moving pots and propping doors open, it should have had a clear view of any of that. So where's that footage?
Is your Ring camera hooked up to your solar panels?
Yeah.
So if your power shuts off, your cameras are still going, aren't they?
I have battery. Yeah, I have 2 Tesla Powerwall backups.
Just like Nancy did. That's what he's saying.
Did she? Did she have backups? I don't know.
She had a solar panel on the top of her house, just like you did, with cameras. Her motion cameras and her Ring cameras from the casita and the back door was hooked up to her solar.
Yeah, my whole house will stay powered if we lose power.
Would Affinity set that up, or would that be a private contractor?
Oh, I had that installed. That was not on the house before.
No, would Affinity come do it, or did you have a contractor do it for you?
I had Tesla install it.
Tesla? They do that?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
have home security. Okay,
Well, they sell solar panels, right? So that's
Mhm.
and they make the Tesla power walls. Those are the batteries that are on the backside of my house that power that keep the house powered, and it's plugged directly into the
Yep.
into the main panel.
Mm-hmm.
Was mm-hmm.
He's saying he's wondering where the cameras are, because there's no way
Yeah.
it should not be cameras with
There
his
should be
setup.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no way. I wish I could ask y'all, but he's telling y'all he has the setup. That tells me this also. You signed up for a security system.
This is fun.
You signed up for a security system, didn't you?
Yeah, I have the Ring. All of my stuff is Ring, so everything is through Ring. Yeah.
Y'all understand Nancy had a security system now, don't you? That
Oh,
should
yeah.
alert. Yeah,
I
I know.
know they've put in another one since then, but she had the doorbell camera. There was a camera on the pool house. I don't know if there was one at for that would catch the going in and out of the garage, but we know she had several.
Mm-hmm. If somebody with that Ring camera if somebody was to kick in your door, would your security system kick in?
It would alert me. Yeah, it'll tell me. It'll tell me as they're walking up
Voila,
to the door.
y'all. So if
I
somebody
got a
walked up to
question.
her door, go for it, Go for it. Good.
Kid, the people around your house that come out and put the solar up from Tesla, are they just the one certain person that comes out and does the installation, or do they send different individuals? Like certain people has a different certain sector that they do.
No, they weren't subcontractors. They were definitely wearing Tesla shirts, Tesla trucks, Tesla. They all the panels are made by Tesla. The power walls are made. Everything was made by Tesla.
Yeah,
And
but what I was asking
even the
was,
installers.
how when you have a cable company, they come out and they got one man that works one area and another man works the other. Would that be the same man that would come out and do everybody's house, or would it be different individuals?
It's probably different individuals. I've had some service done online, and it's not been the same person every time.
Do they have security clearance or anything or ID when they come out?
Well, they have their Tesla credentials that they show you, and
Okay.
and they tell you, Tesla tells you they send you a text from Tesla of who's coming and who you should be expecting to see, and then they show you those credentials when they arrive.
So they send it to your phone, right?
Yep.
It would be just like a regular Infinity call, y'all. I would do this, just like if your internet, you need to install internet, they would send out an Infinity person. That's it. The internet go down,
But
they send out.
I was thinking, like, we're looking for somebody that would have to know the security around Nancy's house. That would be one dude that would, if it was just one dude.
I can tell you there was more than one. There was probably, when they installed my solar system, there was probably 5 or 6 Tesla, employees putting it on there, because I got 48 panels on the roof of my house. That's not a one-person job.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you understand, is that a more retired military area and surrounded, or more federal retirement?
No, there's I think it's a mix. We've got a defense contractor is a major employer in the town. We've got the Air Force Base, so it's kind of a mix.
Okay.
And the people in this neighborhood, to be honest, there's maybe probably four of the homes are the original that were built in like 1968. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So about, just a handful of people that my wife knows that have been here. This is the house that my wife grew up in. So she knows everybody from, you know, who's original and who's, you know, kind of taken over from the originals.
Did you ever get to know Materhead and Taylor?
What's that?
I said, did you ever get to know Materhead and Taylor?
No.
So you never did get to meet them or anything?
No, I didn't even know they were there until this all happened. And in fact, I didn't even know Savannah Guthrie was from Tucson until this happened. You know, and ironically, my wife and her sister actually went to school with Savannah. They were.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they went to high school because the high school that neighborhood feeds now didn't exist. They all went to Amphi High School.
Mm.
I have a question about the ground. You said the ground there is pretty hard. The ground there wouldn't be made of limestone, would it?
It's called caliche, so I don't know. It's like concrete. It's really difficult.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of sand.
No, it's rock.
It's rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rock, but I mean, it's sand compacted into.
No, it's
you
rock.
know.
It's rock.
It's like an orange. It's like an orange, you know,
clay.
clay.
But you can't, like in the military, like we dig Vox holes, we can't even do it. We get 2 feet and we tired.
Yep. Not even 2 feet. That's 6 inches, I'd be dead.
And the only reason I'm bringing it up is a lot of people believe there are tunnels, cellars, basements, and if you're not from that area, y'all don't understand the grind. It's
difficult to even dig a pool.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think about what happened to Nancy? Have you changed your security or changed the way you do things around the home? And what's your opinion on Nancy?
Well, I think I have like 10 cameras that are monitoring the property at all times. So, and this is Arizona, so we are most everybody I know has, you know, weapons. So
pretty much.
Did you guys hear that Luke's charges were dismissed?
I saw JLR post that this morning.
It makes sense.
I don't know.
Doesn't it? Doesn't it, Avi? Doesn't
makes sense to me.
Well, he was supposed to. He was going on trial for some other charge. This week? I think it was supposed to go on Tuesday. So it's interesting that the only people that they've arrested are the streamers.
Low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
They're just, I mean, a hindrance.
I hate to say it.
I've said for a while that, you know, Dr. Mercado has that, you know, waiter and the chef theory, if you will. And I'm like, okay, well, if it is Luke at the door, then they're going to release him. They're going to control who he talks to as far as like the media, because it was only Brianna Whitley. And I think he's singing like a fucking canary, but they're going to say he's cleared, he's good. They cut him this side deal. And I think he's going back to whoever the chef is, or the person in between the chef, the sous chef, and trying to get more information maybe to help them out. But it has been a theory. Yeah,
there's, you know, this is so bizarre to me. Again, it's like we're in 2026, but everything connects to the internet nowadays. You know, your watch, your phone, your everything. And there is nothing.
Yeah. All right, keep going, AV. You got this. I'll be back in like 3 seconds.
So, Army Vet, did you live in Arizona?
Oh, my bad. I just came back. Yeah, I was stationed at Fort Huachuca, but I used to, you know, in the military bases, you want to stay with the civilians. So I used to stay close to where you was. Matter of fact, over there by the airport, them apartments over there near the airports, that's where I used to stay off post when I left to be with normal people.
Yeah. When I was in the Air Force, I lived on base once.
Airborne.
It was After that, when I got stationed at Eglin Air Force Base, we bought a house. We were off base.
So that means you know about. So what is your how do you feel about with Fort Huachuca and Davis Moth and them not having any camera footage an hour before or after, an hour after that incident happened at Nancy's house? Like,
Well, Fort Huachuca is a couple hours away from us, but and Davis Monthan is probably 45 minutes, so we're not super close. I don't think they would have gone that way to get out of Tucson. I think they would have headed west towards I-10, and
that's what
then
I was thinking.
split off, take I-19 down to Mexico.
You think they would have made it with the border security in Fort Huachuca?
So they wouldn't have gone if they would have taken I-19. They wouldn't have gone by Fort Huachuca at all. They would have gone straight to Nogales, and going south, they don't stop. The Border Patrol doesn't stop the cars going before you go in. It's when you're going north is when you have to go through that station.
Mm-hmm.
So there really isn't anything that would stop anything going south, other than the actual border. And I don't think the U.S. Border Patrol talks to you. You don't talk to anybody until you cross the border and go into Mexico.
True. So
All right,
I'm
hold on. I'm
not
gonna share this map so everyone can kind of follow y'all.
Yeah, I don't want to put words in your mouth. So you allegedly you feel that was the abduction route?
I think that she was taken to Mexico.
Okay.
That's the most logical to me, because if they needed to get medications for her, which since they didn't take them, that would have been the place to go get it.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of places in once you cross into Nogales on the other side, you can get prescription meds without prescriptions.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Which you're not going to go to Walgreens and go pick up her stuff without a prescription here. So
yeah, I always thought that it would be too risky for them to go where there was Army bases anyway, because that's too risky for them to risk that. So I always told Army Vet on one stream, I'm like, they went the other way because they didn't go that way.
Yeah, they ain't going that way.
I would think they're going, either I-19 or that Ajo route, out of, to the border. And it's possible that they took her across the border without going through an entry point, right?
Yeah. The storm drains and the
There's
tunnels.
many different ways they could get her across the border where there's not a wall. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, what JLR went there, and he's just catching people just walking across, like just kind of around, and people waiting to pick them up.
Yeah, that whole section there between where Nogales is and what is that, Slavica or something over there. That whole area, in fact, is tribal ground, and so there's no wall to that whole section. They're trying to build a wall, but the Tohono Nation is not letting them onto the land to build it. So there's kind of a big kerfuffle going on right now with that.
Right here. Oh, that's Sassabee.
Yeah, Sassabee. Yeah, all of that is tribal grounds.
Yeah, and Fort Huachuca should be right above it.
Fort Huachuca's over here by Huachuca City on the right.
Yep.
Where?
If they went north, where would they go?
Phoenix.
Are there any towns or anything?
Casa Grande, Phoenix. They could have split off and gone towards San Diego.
Or even split and went to New Mexico. Or, anything in that area. Las Vegas, anything in that area.
Yep.
Vegas.
Las Vegas is about 8 hours if you obey speed limits.
Mm-hmm.
But he's saying Nogales, she would drop off the map of the earth if she go to Nogales. You ain't no way you can track her.
Yep.
No way. And I understand people are going to say, well, you can track her. Yeah, but you're going to have to talk to the Mexican authorities on that side, and it will compromise your intelligence because they might leak it. That's why you can't talk to them.
And there's not a lot of cooperation between the Mexican police and U.S. Border Patrol, for sure.
So who is your point of contact, kid? The FBI or Pima County?
We are in our neighborhood. Pima County is the governing. We don't get Tucson. Tucson Police doesn't. Well, if you call 911, it's going to be Pima County Sheriff, not Tucson Police.
Mm.
If you find something on your ring cam, who would you report to?
They gave me a phone number and an email
That's
address to send it to.
FBI is running this case. Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
Yep. Yeah, no, it wasn't the sheriff's department that gave me any info to send it to. It was the FBI agent when they were walking the property.
Or are there any places around there that you could go and hide out where nobody could see?
Probably. Oh, I'm sure there's tons of those down as you get closer to the border. Yeah. There's a house like 2 doors down from Annie and Tommaso's that looks like they're hiding people at all times there.
Oh, really?
It just looks run down and not very well taken care of. The paint's peeling off and looks like Amityville Horror house.
When did you say the FBI came to your house?
That was it was a week after. It was on a Tuesday the week after when they went door to door in every single house in this neighborhood. And they walked every single property.
Detectives and people.
It was a mix. There was like FBI agents, there were sheriffs, there were Marana police kind of intermixed. They had them in like teams of like 5 going to every single house.
Pima County never interviewed you? Detectives?
No, just
wow.
Marana police, the Marana police detectives that came first. They just wanted to see ring camera footage if I had any, but we went through it and there was nothing.
Wow.
I wonder if the house that were closer to her, if they did more extensive interviews with the houses closest with hers. I'm wondering.
So I'm like 5 miles from Nancy's house, and I'm pretty sure that neighborhood. I have a coworker that lives over in that neighborhood, and the FBI walked all their properties too, and went around asking for camera footage if they had any. They hit every single house in that neighborhood as well.
But you don't know if they did like more extensive interviews with those people or no?
I don't think so. I don't think they did.
Ashley wants to know if you recognize this man there.
The boogeyman. I don't know. The circle of darkness. I think I've seen
You're
that
muted,
on a movie.
Ashley. You're talking.
I think I've seen that on a movie.
Well, there's 2. There's that one there, and I'm not sure what hoodie / thing he's wearing. Kind of looks like a flag of some kind, maybe.
This is from the porch guy video in the
Yeah.
background, by the way.
That's
to
the
give
porch.
you context.
With his left hand in his pocket, and then he's tooled up in his right side pocket.
To me, it seems like cartelish kind of people. The way they holstered their weapon in front. Nobody does that.
Right. Well, this one will make it even more stupid then, because pull up the next one.
Yeah, I just wish you didn't circle it this way because I had to laugh when I first saw it.
I know.
There you go.
So you got Tyson Fury there.
It's like could you have used a different color too?
We're getting it's the blob.
Yeah, I had to make it look like ball bags and the penis, basically.
I didn't say it.
Somebody got teabagged.
But yeah, why would somebody be in Nancy's? Where is that? I can't see where it is. It's in the background, isn't it? It's like it's on the street next to Just down the road from Pooh Ellen's.
Yeah, didn't somebody have a kind of break down the video of the reflection from that was in the light above?
Yeah.
And it looked like somebody was, like hitting, you know.
And there's a lot more people. There's women. There's all sorts of weirdness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, I should have clipped that one. That looked like Kayla. I wonder if I still have
yes.
it in my Canva because we were messing with all those pictures, so I don't even know if I still have her. But I will show him the one that you did about the eyes. I feel like. No.
And I got a question for you. In that private neighborhood, would you recognize a car that wasn't supposed to be there?
Probably not.
You wouldn't?
No, probably not. Yeah, I don't know. We're so separated from a lot of from the other houses because we're on like these are like almost acre lots all the way through here. And some of them, the houses are so far back. I don't even know what kind of car people drive. I know what my next door neighbor drives. He drives a white Ford truck, but out of that, I don't know.
Yeah, I get it. I know that area. You pay for privacy. You don't want to. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, it's I wanted to get out of that cookie cutter neighborhood we were in, Marana, and it's
get it.
This is what I wanted.
I know.
I don't want to know my next door neighbor, to be honest. That's some bushy eyebrows.
Is this the one where his eye looks funny or no?
Mm-hmm.
Not to me.
Yeah, the condition's called coloboma.
That's it, Ashley. Thank you. I couldn't think of the word you told me it was.
I don't even know what that is.
It's got like the hexagon shaped eyes. It's called coloboma.
Oh.
He also has defects, dents in his actual pupil that will be evident in a minute.
Will it?
Well, if it's the right one.
You can't tell pupils.
Oh, you can.
No, you can't. It's impossible. It is physically impossible to tell eye pupil from white and dark.
I'm just gonna stay out of this one.
This military tech, that's impossible. It's impossible. It's impossible.
Watch this then.
Where are? No, I gotta go find the freaking vent, man. Men back here telling me how to run this. I'm looking, but if you can send it in the meantime, that would be great.
I mean, is it on my YouTube?
I don't. Did I do the ones with the dent?
Yeah, I think you did. Because I think you did it as a short, didn't you?
No, I did this as a short. I don't know. Did I?
No, you did because it was it had text and everything.
Okay.
And you did the one pupil that showed the dent in his pupil.
So why'd you say on your channel? Because I made it and you stole it.
I'm
just kidding. You didn't steal it. You didn't steal it. I'm kidding. All right. Nope, that's not the video I even asked for. Sorry. Apparently I make too many. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, go check out all my good content, guys. There's my shameless plug for the day, and we're done. All right.
Shameless plug. I love it.
Oh, why not, right? All right. Like I need like more screens so I can have like one thing on one side and one on the other. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, when it comes to y'all's HOA down there, do y'all have somebody come out and inspect your house or anything?
There's
Do they
no.
have to let you know?
I don't
Do
have
they
any.
have to let you? You don't have no HOA?
No, no, not in this neighborhood. Nancy's has an HOA, but we don't.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful for that. I
With the
couldn't
dental
stand
dogs
living in
and
an
all
HOA.
that, huh?
Well, don't the HOA come out and inspect your house and stuff
They
every
make
once in a while?
Yeah, when they make sure you're in compliance with, whatever rules they have. The old neighborhood I lived in, my parents' park, they bought a bus and stopped and to show it to us. It was there for 10 minutes and I got fined. So I'm not a fan of HOAs.
Yeah, I ain't either.
All right, here you go.
What in the world? Oh.
Boom. There's your dent. That's a dent in the pupil, motherfucker.
Do y'all understand they've been doing retina pupil scans for the last 20 years?
Yeah.
You get that, y'all, right? Y'all understand what
No.
I'm telling y'all, right?
Yeah,
You get what
and
I'm
it looks
telling
like
you,
to
right?
me if they could do it, they'd know it was him.
We had
Unless
retina
it just,
scanners in the military for the last 20 years, y'all. Stop. Retina
unless,
scanners.
unless
Patricia, pause, Patricia. We have retina scanners in the military
No.
that you show your
No way.
eyeball. Y'all,
I
and
don't
we
believe
have
it. What's
facial
the retina?
recognition software. So all we have to do is get your face and your retina, and we know who you are. Pause.
well, what if he
What's a
didn't stand
retina?
there long enough? The middle piece
He
of you, I
didn't.
mean,
He didn't. That's the problem. He knew how to dodge
ah,
facial recognition software. He knew not to make
yeah,
complete eye contact because with facial recognition software and identity, you need the bridge of the nose, you need the mouth, you need the cheek, you need all of that to get not just eyes. I'm just telling you how we work in the military.
I was just being an ass, right? Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. This
All
for
right.
the
As
people.
long as we
These
know.
for the this for the people that keep sending me. I have 1,000 videos, y'all, and I keep telling them don't send me no more. I don't want to see them. Stop sending
Sure
me
you
them.
do. I'm gonna send you some
No,
videos. Yay!
stop sending
Everyone
me
send
videos.
AP videos.
I got 1,000. Pretty. Stop sending me videos.
well, kid, since all this happened to Nancy, has things changed a little bit down there?
Not really. The neighborhood's still very quiet, but you get the occasional
Mhm.
homeless person walking through, like what went through Nancy's neighborhood yesterday. So
Yeah.
they're just kind of wandering travelers. So
Once you heard about Nancy, was it fear or was it you didn't understand? Like, how did you perceive it?
it didn't scare us at all, really, to be honest. I'm armed, so I'm not worried. I'm scared the crap out of my mom, and she lives in a gated community up in Phoenix. So she's had me install cameras in her house ever since.
With your military, do you think I'm gonna be careful with this one? With your
And thank you for
background,
your service, both of you.
that's what I'm finna, kid. That's why I'm finna go with it. With your background, do you think this could be a resemblance of terrorism from how people are feeling? Not the incident,
I
but
don't
just
know.
how.
I don't know necessarily terrorism. I personally think cartel.
So your mindset is this was hired cross border. Somebody came from across the border. Gotcha.
Just the way he holstered that weapon says cartel. When every time I've been to Mexico and you see somebody with a gun, that's how they've
Yeah.
that's how it's been holstered, right?
Yep.
You don't see that here. When I've gone through firearms training, and that is not how you conceal your weapon at all.
Yep.
Hey, Adam.
And if you are in the Tucson area, what he's saying, we cross the border every day, y'all. And they in Nogales right there. If you want to go buy something, you see all. So when we see that, the first thing I seen is what he's seen. I know what y'all look like. I know what y'all dress like. I know what y'all act like. You know where that's from.
I've been all through Mexico. We used to go to Cancun all the time. I've been to Mexico City, and I honestly have no desire to ever go back because it's just kind of everybody's. It's just lawless over there. Even the police, a lot of the police are corrupted. I got pickpocketed on my first day there in Mexico City. Yeah.
It's Mexico City. Okay.
Oh, it's bad.
Mexico City. I got pickpocketed on my first, and as an American, you
stick out.
Everybody is like 5'5" in Mexico City. They're not tall people, and so when you're there with somebody who's one of my friends was 6'6", 164. You stand out.
So I see where your mind went. That's why you added all the rest of them cameras. I see where you go. What is that? Why do you think she was taken? It's not money now in your mind, is it?
No, I think it was all about money. Why did someone do a Google search on Nancy Guthrie's address and Savannah Guthrie's salary on the 11th of January, which is when the first picture of the porch guy without the backpack allegedly was.
Oh, I see where you're going.
Wonder where Doug's going.
Good stuff.
Oh,
vet.
uranium.
Good stuff, Air Force vet. Good stuff.
Oh, you were in the Air Force.
Yeah, I was Air Force.
Yeah, I did both. So
Cameron?
No, I do not know. I joined the Air Force because I wanted to be a pilot, but back in 1994, there was no pilot slots during the Clinton years.
So you was in San Antonio in '93? Oh, that's cool.
No, I went through basic training. I went through Air Force ROTC.
You skipped it.
Yeah, so I was on the officer side. So my basic training was in Spokane, Washington.
Good stuff.
Could be. Sorry. This could also be. I mean, I know someone that's pretty close to the case that does that for a living professionally. So,
Pretty in UK, y'all need to ask him tougher questions. He's an officer. Look, y'all need to ask him tough questions, man. He's sliding on y'all. Man, you need to ask him tough questions, man. He's an officer, y'all. He can handle. He knows more than what he's saying. Y'all, this dude is good.
I don't know if I know more than I'm saying.
Yes, you do.
I probably forgot more than I.
Wow.
I've been out of the Air Force for 27 years.
But training never leaves. His training never leaves.
That's probably right.
Is Nanos acting like a leader, or is a lack of leadership in this case?
Oh, he's an idiot.
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
Case solved. Nanos is an idiot.
I'm actually good friends with Heather Lappin, who ran against him. And and
I wish the board of supervisors would have fucking kicked him out and gotten Heather and put her in that spot just to slap him in the face. Oh.
He put her on house arrest, essentially. She could not leave her house from, I think it was like 8 in the morning until 5 at night.
Yeah, like
to
office hours.
with like the last 4 weeks of the campaign. And so he threw those bogus charges up against her, and which didn't stick, shocking. And she lost by 400 something votes in Pima County's over 1 million people. So that should tell you something.
So I know that they were recently attempting to do the recall effort.
I think we're waiting for the
allegedly.
Board of Supervisors. The city council pushed it up to the Board of Supervisors, and so I think they're waiting on the Board of Supervisors to bring the charges for lying under oath.
Yeah, we'll see. No,
I don't know if it'll ever happen.
office, it got deferred to the AG's office.
Yeah, so we
But-
gotta wait for the Attorney General to see if they'll do anything.
See, and that's another thing I'm telling you that pisses me off with this whole thing, because Nancy was failed by Pima County, obviously, but she's also failed, and Tucson was failed by the Board of Supervisors. Like, everyone keeps failing, because you had Matt Hines, who was, yes, absolutely, we need to get him out of here. Day of, all of a sudden it's, yeah, let's defer him to the AG's office.
Yeah, let's.
What happened?
I defer that vote or whatever he said. It was just like, what in the hell is going on?
Yeah.
And he was actually a huge proponent for Heather Lappin as well. And even though she's, technically Republican and he's Democrat, he actually was, a good proponent for Heather. And he said on one of the interviews that, he knows people who did their mail-in vote, their ballots early, and if they would have known what they did about how he tried to hijack and put her under wraps, the 4 weeks before, they wouldn't have voted for him. They would have voted for Heather. And he said he knows probably 20 or 30 people. Well, if he knows 20 or 30 people, that 400 number is easily done for.
Now, did they do a recount or anything?
They did do a recount, and I think I think it was originally like 570, and it got down to 441 with the recount.
I don't know.
And
they should have something in place that if it gets to like a certain amount, that they have to like.
Well, they did. It did go to a recount, and even though Heather lost, he still continued to retaliate against her, and she literally had to leave the Pima County Sheriff's Department, and she works for Maricopa right now.
Is
Who
she
do you
happier?
think? Go for it, Pretty.
No, I was just gonna say, is she happier over there?
Much happier. She was afraid that she was going to lose her get fired and lose her pension with all the retaliation. So she had to leave, and she did the right thing.
Opinions only. I hope it's not me. Opinions only. Who do you think funded Nanos? The government, military? Who do you think funded them?
Tucson is a very Democrat-run city. The mayor's Democrat. Now Arizona in a whole is mostly has gone red for most of the elections. I know when Biden was, it turned blue, but that's only because Maricopa County up in Phoenix is huge, and Pinal County, everybody pretty much was majority red up there, but for every election that I've been here for 27 years, it's been pretty blue.
Them damn Democrats.
Which is kind of crazy considering, our largest employer here is a defense contractor. So it surprises me.
That is a little weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting.
I honestly think that he is still there in that position because they need him to freaking be there. They need him to be the village idiot.
Yeah, he's gonna take the fall.
Well, he botched it from day one, right? He released the crime scene way too early. And then they kept coming back. You had Brian Etten walk all the way up onto the freaking patio and get the pictures of the blood. Well, now you've contaminated anything that was there. And I don't blame Brian for doing it. They allowed it. The sheriffs allowed it. And it was just, and then you had somebody ordered a pizza for JLR, which got delivered to the freaking house, which, come on, pizza delivery kid, use your brain a little bit. And,
Well, they know he was going to do it from the start. They know he was going to mess up the crime scene. That's why he got the job.
it's,
Well, I mean, you'd have to say that they planned this like 40 years in advance, or I mean, how long has he been there? He's been there for a long time.
He's been there since the 80s, so he's been there for a really, really long time as just a general sheriff. But he's been, or just a general officer, in patrol officer. But he's been sheriff for quite some time.
Mark Kelly could control anybody, Carolina.
I don't think
Absolutely.
Mark Kelly can control anybody.
Well,
We disagree.
I don't know.
I bet you it's not the
Nano's
same.
got an ego the size of Texas, where he used to work. So,
But
okay,
he knows the
no one else hears that.
Nuh-uh.
So he's married to Gabby Giffords, who got shot.
Mm-hmm. In Arizona, yeah.
Just up the street from us.
Yep.
At the Safeway, just on Oracle and Ina.
Do you think the governor and the mayor have pull in Pima?
No. I don't. The Pima County, the mayor down here she's very, very. The Tucson mayor is very Democrat. Yes, the governor's Democrat, but I think she's gonna get voted out here next in the midterms here, because there's a lot of things that she's done since there was a couple of they were gonna name a stretch of highway after Charlie Kirk. It went all the way through the House and the Senate for Arizona, and then she vetoed it when it came up there. And so there's a lot of people that are upset about that.
Justine, when was the time that them e-files, when they first brought up the e-files about having to come out with them? And when was the first time that we know that Sheriff Nanos was the sheriff down there? When did the date that he got elected and the date that them files supposed to drop? Well,
he's been sheriff for a long time. He's been sheriff for at least 8 years.
Yeah, but
maybe 12 total. There was a sheriff.
Files have been going on for a while.
Yeah, Sheriff Napier was in between. So it was like Nanos was there for 4 years, and then he got voted out by Napier, but then Napier retired, and then Nanos took it back over, and then Heather lost to him. So I think he's been at least 12 years sheriff, but with a split in between in the 16. What's up, 857? How you doing, brother?
Hey, Damien.
857.
Let me hook y'all up. Y'all have the man that lives close to Annie and Tommaso. Any conversation y'all have, because I ain't gonna let him off, y'all. He know, understand. Any question y'all can think of, y'all need to hit him
Well,
up.
he don't live that close. I mean, he wouldn't know whether they's having parties over there or what kind of people they was. He ain't never met them. So what could we ask him?
He is symbolizing the DNA of Catalina Foothills. He is telling you who lives there, how they live, what they believe in, that's Annie and Tommaso, Nancy, that area.
Yeah, I've never met them. I didn't know that they were the ones that bought the house when they bought it in March of last year. So it's guilt by association, I guess. I don't know.
AV, check to make sure you don't have YouTube open in another tab, because I just muted everyone while y'all were talking, and you're the one echoing us. So figure it out. Figure it out, man.
Let me check my echo cancellation.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah,
I bet you the taxes on them houses down there is pretty high, ain't they?
I think it depends where in Tucson you live, right? Because there are areas that are more upper class, and then there are some areas that are
the neighborhood
normal.
that Nancy lives in. Those are all $1 million homes. So they may have been built a long time ago, but they've been they're over $1 million every single one of them. Now ours aren't that. high over here, even though we still have the same kind of footprint and landscape, but we're just in a different area of Tucson. And Tucson is kind of growing out. You got Marana, you got Oro Valley, you've got South Tucson, you got it's in Pima County. It's big here.
So, okay.
Dove Mountain.
Nanos just pisses me off, so I'm just gonna go back to this because I love to just get my digs in on him where I can. But where else ever in the history of anywhere could you have a sheriff who, first of all, lies, commits perjury on more than one thing, right? We have his resume, which was an oversight, and then you have the like time frame or whatever where he just like forgets where he is and when and whatever, which is great for a law enforcement officer to forget when and where things happen.
I can see, because look at it. He came here in the 80s, right? We didn't have the computer technology for that stuff to travel with him. And so I can see, everything was was filed in paperwork somewhere in a file cabinet somewhere. So I can see how that slipped through the system back in the 80s. But now that it's out, he's got to answer for it, because you don't beat someone with your flashlight while they're in cuffs and put them in the ICU and forget about that. So he covered that up for sure.
All right. Well, speaking of, glad that you brought that up. What we have here, I present to you Exhibit A. I have his resume. So let's take a look.
Let me ask you something, Ted. Down there where you're at, if you call Tesla to put in those solar panels and stuff, what kind of other companies are down there that you could call around in there to get the same thing?
There's a bunch of small companies that install solar. I've got a friend that owns a company that does turf and solar panels. So there's tons of them.
That doesn't help. All right.
My God, is that handwritten?
So you said paper, right? That's not going to travel with him. Well, it's right here. So
who wants to look at a 6-page resume?
Thank you. That was my biggest problem with it. I said someone needs to tell him that, it's one page, man. Fit it all in there. Which is ridiculous.
I do a lot of hiring, and we don't. It's like if you got like more than 2-3 pages,
Yep. That's crazy.
I'm not taking the time to dig through this, especially with all the AI now. It's like they're gonna throw in every buzzword bingo, and I'm not gonna pay attention.
Oh, that's
and like, oh man, you guys have not picked through this. Oh, it's fun. It's fun. So his hobbies are boxing, fishing, pool, crosswords, and physical exercise.
Who puts that on a freaking?
I know.
His religion. His marital status.
I have never put none of this on my resume. That's crazy.
You guys have not seen this?
It's like from his Tinder profile. What the hell is this?
This is ego.
Looks like a woman wrote it.
You guys have not seen this.
I have never seen this.
No.
That is
Worst
crazy.
resumes I've ever seen.
Well, I can't believe you haven't been watching my channel since I started with nobody following me a few months ago. Okay. So yeah, he has his religion. So we all know that. Thank you.
What the hell?
All right. So here, you got his high school.
He's got his driver's license on. That's crazy.
His driver's license.
Wow.
Now this was his job. That's what he's been doing. He's been cooking up this darn thing here instead of getting out doing his regular job that he's supposed to be doing. Could you imagine the time it took to do all this?
I'd like to see his resume now today, because now he loves to gamble. So.
Oh yeah.
Now I thought someone said that he had a degree in like drama. Didn't someone, wasn't that a rumor here? He had speech and poli-sci, and then it says political science and criminal justice. And then
They probably gave him that degree when he had that TV show down there.
Yeah, they were.
He got that just by being a. Yeah, they thought probably just give him that to get rid of
Nanos.
him.
This is Nanos.
I'm trying to see
Christopher Nanos.
I'm trying to see how good he is in cyber, and I don't see none of his cyber.
Well, that didn't really exist back in 1986.
Wow, he don't know anything, Dan.
Yeah.
I'm
Someone check and
surprised
see if
he
he
could
has
write
the
this
same
book.
number. Someone check and see if he has the same number.
Oh God.
Yeah, I'm not going to scroll back up because I'm.
That's a Phoenix number too. That's not a Tucson number.
Hey, Truth Sleuth. I wonder if. Yeah, I'm not going to scroll back up, but I'm pretty sure there was like a number that definitely should not fucking be on anything ever.
Does he have his social security number on there?
I think so.
Because
I feel bad even pointing that out. I might have to go back and redact this. I might do that.
That was on every military form that I've ever filled out.
Yeah, but your resume, and not only that, your resume, and it's part of your response. This is part of his response to the board of supervisors.
It was, we had to put our social security numbers on our college papers when I was going through school.
I guess that's the only way he can make his ass look good.
Girl, I graduated college in 1994, so we had typewriters that had the little holes on the side that spit the paper out back then.
All you had to do is put down, "I'm an idiot, hire me." They would
Well,
give
he
him
pretty
the
much
job.
did. He just took 6 pages to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he's got all of his certificates ever in the history of ever. Okay, so he has 76 to 82, and then 82 to 93, he's got a gap, and then 83 to 84. So I'm trying to think.
He was a salesman. He was probably a.
For his brother-in-law, I think it was, and he wasn't very good. Like he was like on the verge of getting fired, and so then he quit.
And then he went to a security guard.
What's that armed robbery decoy?
Yeah.
What is that? Division Training Officer Tactical as an armed robbery decoy. I was robbed over 40 times.
Oh, it's a like undercover armed robbery decoy. Please put him back in that position. I don't know what that position was, but can we please put him back as an armed robbery decoy?
Oh my Lord!
I explained it all. He done been hitting the head too many times.
He was in the sex crimes division.
He says, where I was robbed over 40 times in 2 weeks. Were you on the job, or did you just get robbed 40 times in 2 weeks? Oh my God.
He was probably molested in the sex crime division.
I can't breathe. I forgot how funny this was.
That's
I'm
funny.
so glad that I could bring this to you.
I bet you he fumbles the soap just as much as he does in words.
Ooh.
Wow. You're not a very good officer if you got robbed 40 times.
I can't believe you guys are. I'm dying over here.
Wait a minute.
Okay. Ooh, get it together. Breathe, everybody. Okay, just me. We can do this. Okay. In uniform patrol,
led all over patrolmen on my shift in every statistical category ever kept. That includes beating people.
Yeah.
Number of times getting, sent home without pay.
Mm-hmm.
These statistics were kept daily.
Statistics. I saved my partner's life while he was being held hostage at Pew Pew Point by a would-be burglar. What the F is a would-be burglar? Either you are or you are not, sir. Like, are you here to take something or are you not? Is this why he has such an issue in this case? Is because he doesn't know the difference between a burglar and a would-be burglar?
Christine, the guy's an idiot.
I don't know, but I'd like to know them 30 letters of accommodations he got. I want to know the idiots behind that. Who is speak well of this man?
Who?
That's
This is
what I
the
want to know.
weirdest resume I've ever seen.
In fact, that many letters in that short of time is like averaging a letter of commendation once every 2 months. And yet it was my first 2 months on the floor. You really made a statistical analogy in your resume. Let me show you how important I am, okay?
Statistical
Me
anomaly.
getting all of these letters is like if I were to get a letter once every a day, whatever. A letter of commendation once every 2 months, whatever.
It's interesting that he puts that in here because we have a really bad problem of people dying while in jail in Pima County.
Yeah, you just had another one a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
I heard about that.
And there was the kid that got swatted and had his, and is paralyzed.
Yeah, yep. And then you had the other one where the guy didn't intervene or something like that. There was like a lawsuit there. He's got a lawsuit from the ACLU for First Amendment and 14th Amendment issues because 14th Amendment is racial profiling or against racial profiling. He took out the language in the policy and procedure manual for Pima County sheriffs that says you cannot racially profile. And he called it an administrative oversight or an overcorrection, administrative overcorrection.
Oh, please. This guy is.
The guy's a joke, Justine. I'm telling you.
Oh, fucking A, man.
I know they said when COVID
loathe
hit
them.
that they had over 300 or something people down there that died in that jail when COVID hit because he wouldn't separate them.
I don't remember that.
I did hear.
But we've had a lot of inmates that have died in his care.
You guys have seen this, right?
Tardiness, dereliction of duty, excessive force, violation of duties.
Yeah. So suspended, 1 day, leave without pay, written reprimand, information only, violation of rules, something.
1 day
And, like-
suspension, 3 day suspension, information only, not sustained. 15-day suspension, I think, is what that says. I think that's the one where he put the guy in a coma.
What names can't you use? Oh, just anybody, A&T, LD. I mean, it's better that you just use initials because defamation and shit like that. But I think we pretty much already said Annie and Tommaso. But as long as you're not accusing them of anything, it's not really defamation. You're just talking about them as people. And today we're just talking about them as neighbors. And now we're talking about idiot Nanos. And Nanos, I think, hopefully knows deep down in his soul that he's an idiot. He's a moron. Okay, yeah. So
Yeah,
2 day suspension.
You're at like 24 there. That's
Yeah.
subordination.
So here,
consistent inefficiency. That doesn't say that he deserved awards.
hey, if anything else, you guys, he has been consistently inefficient for over 40 years. Give the man some credit.
I'll give him that award. That's for damn sure.
That's going on his next resume. Coming to a town near you. This moron who still has his job. That's my point. Who keeps their fucking job after this? Who does?
He drives a white Corvette.
If it'd be a woman, she'd have done been gone.
If it was a woman, she would have done been gone. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Sometimes I have to sort through your South there, Miss Patricia. Yeah, so this individual has been almost terminated from one. I mean, he's been caught lying. He's got lawsuits on lawsuits. He's told I think has the one from Aaron Cross. Recently, the one that got dismissed, and everyone's like, oh my God, the lawsuit got dismissed. They missed a deadline. That's it. Okay. They could file a motion to reopen and say I missed the deadline because I fell down a flight of stairs and I was in the hospital. You don't know. But don't act like it was a win for him. He got like a default dismissal because they missed a fucking deadline. Okay. Let's not make a big deal about it. So hopefully they reopen that because that was, I believe, the one where the guy like fell down a canyon or fell down a hill, something, and like they almost like failed to render aid to him or appropriate aid. I think that was the lawsuit. But yeah, I mean, he's got lawsuits. I mean, you kid, he is costing you millions of dollars in legal fees. How does he get away with this?
Yeah. And wait till these YouTubers, go with their lawsuits for First Amendment violations, and that's it.
I mean, it says in the citation for one of these guys, I can't remember. I think it's either 857s or Juices, where it says that the officer was specifically put on a task force and said, here are 2 statutes. Figure out how to make it work for these people. Tell me how that is not targeted enforcement.
Oh, it was total targeted. Poor 857. Literally like an hour before, an officer said, "Hey, how you doing? Do you want some water? Blah blah blah. You're doing a great job."
Yeah.
And then an hour or two later, just after Juice arrived, boom! Now they're like swarming in, crazy.
And I mean, you want to talk about like excessive force. There was no reason that the Alex thing needed to go to the extent that it was. Right or wrong is neither here nor there. It's the fact that he went up and he said, you need to get up right now. And Alex is like, can you tell me what I'm being charged with? Nope, get up. That's a direct order, a direct command. I'm not reporting to you, so like what the hell?
That, and then they moved him off screen so his camera couldn't catch it, how they were treating him. And it's just, to me, what the hell? It's like so wrong in every sense of the manner,
Well, I think they ought to make Nano's pay out of his pocket, not the taxpayer.
And I think KVOA has a part of it, has a part of liability in this because they edited Alex's video to make him look as though he was actually going to the bathroom, in that private shelter, which is allowed, by the way. And he did not go in there because he literally says on the video that, oh, my microphones are on. I'm not going to do this, because that would be embarrassing.
Right. So, and that's another thing is I hope
KVOA video at all.
Right. So if I was Alex, I would go after KVOA too, because that's irresponsible journalism. That's irresponsible reporting. It's inaccurate reporting. And that definitely is a defamation right there because you're portraying it to be something that it's not. It's the same reason YouTube was this edited by AI. It asks you, it makes you answer it. Yeah. So why can they do that? I would go after him too. How do you not go right to the source when you know he's got a freaking channel? Why wouldn't you just go there?
And it's a lie. He's got the whole thing on the channel. So,
right.
Unedited, without the added sounds that they added, without the, cutting it up. And so, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, he's live streaming and, I don't know if you heard, you guys gotta go to Nick ARPG and listen to all of those 911 calls. But I gotta play this one because it's my favorite. Have you heard these yet?
No, I haven't heard any of them.
I gotta play this one because it's just my favorite. And I made a short on it. So there's my second shameless plug of the day. But I really did. But Nick ARPG, I'll get his link in here too, has the FOIA for all of the 911 calls that people from the audience, like his audience or whomever's audience, wherever they were sent from, let's say that, calling in and, oh, he's out in the neighborhood again. They're like, do you live there? Well, no, I'm in Illinois. I'm in Indiana. Turn the channel. Do you have a remote near you, miss? Can you pick that up? Can you hit up or down? Like,
the sheriff's department watches the streams. So come on.
Yeah.
They literally said they
admittedly
were
so.
watching the streams.
Mm-hmm.
That makes that a double standard then.
Yeah, they know exactly what was going on. So, and then how is, I find it ironic that, KVOA is there at just up the street from where they're getting arrested, doing their live spot, parked next to the no parking signs. And, did they get it? Did they get cited? No. And yeah, these were calls from streamers that were, and poor Ted, he's getting swatted, and his family's being just tormented with shit. So
Yeah, I mean, all I want to say, because I don't want to get brought in the middle of it, but all I'll say is the world would be a lot better of a place if people just minded their own fucking business.
yeah,
If you don't like somebody, just change the channel. I mean, you have that luxury, 21st century.
you don't have to watch it. It's not, it's not. You clicked on it.
But yeah, to go out of your way to try and do something, and I don't care who it is, it's not just Ted, anybody, to go out of your way and attack somebody for no reason. Because someone's got to start it, right? It doesn't come out of nowhere.
Exactly.
So, but I'll leave it there. Let's hope everyone just gets the help that they need. So
Everybody
we
get
can all
along.
move on. Everyone
Everybody
get
get
along.
along,
Play
please.
nice in the sandbox. All right, you got to hear this though, because it's hilarious.
Sheriff's Department, how can I help you?
Hello?
Hello, Sheriff's Department.
Yes, I need to file a complaint with Internal Affairs. I'd like their
Okay,
number.
I will get
please.
you over to them. One moment. Okay, I have that number when you're ready.
Yep. And I just need to
50?
tell you because I'm going to tell you because I'm allowed to tell you this. Your sheriff is a piece of shit. I have it live on TV. What he just did to another citizen, he ordered his
Ma'am,
three little
you want that
minions
number or
to
not?
do. Yeah, I do want that fucking
Okay,
number. I
it's
do. I am beside myself.
520-351-4750.
Hang on, go slower. I'm not under
Oh,
arrest.
that's
What
two
is
boxes of wine right there.
520-351-4750. Oh my God, I love it.
4750. And tell your fucking sheriff he's a dick.
Three boxes of wine right there. My bad.
This lady wins an award. I'd like to personally shake your hand, miss.
Whoever that is, that was freaking awesome.
Your sheriff's a dick.
Dick. Oh my Lord.
I'm searching right now. They are passing laws right now in y'all Congress. I mean in Arizona, like this one. They just passed this one. I think it's because of Juice Them. It says that this new one that they just repeated filming a specific residence or individuals to harass, threaten, or intimidate them can cross the line into stalking or disorderly conduct laws, even if the filming itself is done they are passing laws as we speak.
Well, they're going to try
I
and
was
take
waiting
away
on
their
that.
First Amendment rights. And
Yep.
that'll
Yeah,
go
they
to
gonna-
the Supreme Court and get taken down. But
They're gonna say it's invasion of privacy.
Yeah, it's another one. They got another one too that they
You're not-
just
you're not
passed. The
taking
Arizona
inside the
Critical
house.
Infrastructure Protection Act, meaning I think it's because you can't hack Ring cameras. They just passed this one a month ago. Like they are passing some laws, y'all, for y'all.
well, when you start breaking the law with like
Mhm.
when you're trying to hack into something, yeah, you've crossed a line. But standing out on the street and pointing at a house that has been on the news for 142 days is not an invasion. It's not an invasion of privacy. Nobody's even there. So how is it an invasion of privacy when nobody's in that house?
They are passing laws like crazy in Arizona.
Are any of them that it is illegal to have an idiot running your county?
They skirt that one.
Hmm.
I was about that same
Left out now.
question.
Unfortunate. Okay, so I got to go back to my main thing of everything because we talked about a lot. And I keep putting the link in there if anybody else wants to come up. I mean,
I'm gonna have to tap out here pretty soon. But
Yeah, you're good.
It's been awesome. Thank you so much.
So the biggest thing that I want to come back to is that the time frame in which they were looking for is 9 p.m. to 2 a.m.
Yep.
If they
Yep.
were looking, okay, y'all, because we know that the garage door opening closing was at like 9:48 or something like that. So I could see them looking from even 9 to 10:30. I don't know, to make sure that he dropped her off and then he got back home. Corroborate, timeline, whatever. I totally understand that. But if you have a missing woman, first of all, why wouldn't you be looking for corroboration on when she got there? Right? So, like, looking for an Uber, whatever Uber, because if they have the information on the Uber driver, they know exactly what kind of car that person is driving. So you wanna see, does the timeline add up from what they said to when she got to the house? So I'd be looking for footage there. Then I would be looking for when they left to when he got back home, which you said it's about 5 minutes from Nancy's, 8 minutes, something like
Yeah,
that?
it's like 5-10 minutes. They're like 5 miles, but speed limits aren't 65 either. They're cross-town traffic, so you have stoplights and
Yeah.
everything in between.
So, I mean, leaving whatever time they left, but if they're corroborating just from 9:50 on the way back, maybe you had to stop and get gas. I don't freaking know. So let's give them 10:30, 11 o'clock, right? Why are they looking till 2 a.m. if they weren't looking for something different or something more than
Yeah.
what we know?
Yeah, I don't know. That's when she was taken, right? It was around 2 a.m. ish, allegedly. So that's when I think that's the time when her heart monitor stopped talking to her.
2:38, yeah.
Yeah. So, and then 20 minutes after that, you looking for a car if they went through the neighborhood, if they didn't, or I think that's what they were really looking to see.
I mean, anyone else
They
think that's
should have been
weird?
looking from. They should have been looking from 11 till 3. That's the timeline they should have been looking at.
Yeah, what time was the porch guy? Was that at like 1? I think.
1:48
It
maybe
was
or
around
something.
about 2:40, I think,
Because
according to her
I'm
watch.
yeah. I'm wondering if they are still looking at those two. Because technically the sheriff can't clear anybody. That's got to come from the DA, right? Like, he can't clear anybody on his own. He doesn't have the authority. But I wonder if they're still looking at them.
I don't know.
I really do.
I have no idea. And
Yeah, no, I know. you don't.
but if you're the last, they're always going to keep an eye on who the last person was that had contact with that individual, right? That's always going to be. And the one thing that I just don't understand is, why did they think that she walked off somewhere? Because she couldn't walk very well. So
Yeah, that part makes no sense.
that makes no sense to me either.
Because you have the family
I ain't buying
calling.
that.
You have the family calling and saying, yeah, my mom's not here. Because the first thing, especially, if I had elderly grandparents and things that I would take care of. If I walked into my grandparents' house and I wasn't getting a response or getting an answer when I'm calling their name, especially if someone else called, because that is how I found, unfortunately, my grandmother was at her down the hall. Neighbors had called us and said, hey, we haven't heard from her. But the first thing you do is you walk in and you call for them, right? Like, are you here? Did you fall? So I'd be looking around. That maybe take, depending, maybe 10 minutes to look around, make sure she didn't fall. Then I'm calling, right?
There's no way that Nancy propped the doors open with those, with pots full of soil. Those things are heavy.
Right.
She can barely walk. She didn't do it.
So voila.
Yeah.
Let's ask the question. Voila.
And why
I
did
mean,
they,
if
why did they keep her car
we're
for
right,
45 days?
if we're right, and the police talked to Annie and Tommaso, then turned around and called Senator Kelly, then turned around and called Pima County, they knew. this didn't get released for 6 hours. They all knew. The family, the police, they knew for 6 hours before it reported to the news. A day later, it switched up from a walk away to an abduction. They knew from jump. First 6 hours, they knew. Voila.
Yeah, and you know, Nanos has slipped up a couple of times and said that they were at the house that Saturday night. So were they there that Saturday night, or were they not?
Maybe it happened that Saturday
If
instead of the Sunday.
that's why I asked Kid if somebody broke into his house at 3, would the security his security tell him? He said, yeah.
Oh yeah, mine would for sure.
Same thing with Nancy.
It would have alerted me, and I would have, you know, had a weapon. And
yep. Security clearance. Who is it going to call, y'all? 911. So somebody did say it was a call at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. It would be them responding to a security. Yeah.
Yep.
That's why I say ask him. He lives in. All of them got the same security. All of them got the same security, y'all. Not the person, but the same tech. Same
exactly.
Security.
Exactly. Yeah, because you know, if somebody knocking on my door or come walking up to my doorway at 3 a.m, mine's gonna alert me loud.
Right. And I would think that those alerts would go to another family member. I don't know why they wouldn't.
It could. I get my mom's for sure because I've got her account, and so you know I've got access to her account. So I've got hers, and she's all the way up in Phoenix. So
yeah, I got my daughters, so I'm with them. Like I'm monitoring my daughter. Yeah.
You know, we've also got, you know, Apple Watches that know when they fall and those types of things, and for that reason, because you know they are aging, and you worry about someone falling and not being able to, you know, just being there by themselves and not being able to get to someone. So we have all that with my mom for sure. She doesn't have 20 cameras, but she doesn't need 20 cameras like me.
No. Nope. But yeah, I mean, there's so many things. Again, we could just beat a dead horse with all of this because we're not gonna ever get any answers.
Yeah,
I don't
we're not going to
think.
get any answers from the local sheriffs. So unless they find her and then they start letting out some of the stuff, you know, as it comes out in FOIA requests.
Oh, and the other thing, so last question is just about Tucson and homeless people that we were talking about. How often, and I don't know if you watch the news, so maybe you don't, but how often are they finding deceased, either drugs
I think a
or
lot. I think a lot. You know, I see it, you know, if I go to work and take Oracle down to Miracle Mile and out to I-10, you see they're out and about, and every now and then you'll see, you know, a couple of Tucson police cars, you know, around somebody, and maybe an ambulance or maybe not. You know, it's just you know, when you drive down the road and at the bus stop, the advertisement sign on the side of the bus stop is meth 2.0. It's deadlier. It's dangerous. It's come on, that's crazy to me because that's the world we live in, unfortunately now. And Tucson didn't used to be like that.
yeah. I mean, it's sad.
It's really it is really sad because a lot, like, you know, you see them standing on the street corners trying to get money, you know, in the center medians, and it's like, you know, they've fallen on some hard luck, and you know they need help, and some of them want the help, some of them don't. You know, I've seen there's a couple that are together, that walk together with their shopping cart, and it's actually a huge big one of those big trash bins that has wheels, and they push it around, and they've got their little dog in there, and it's sad. It's absolutely sad.
I might be back pretty, but Kid as a vet, good stuff. I know you ain't representing the Catalina Foothills, I get it, but you are one awesome ass representative. You're showing the real how they should be acting to the stream. Dude, come back. They need to hear the good side of the Carolina foothills. And as a vet, dog, come back. They love you. Come back.
No, there's a lot of good here, but it has changed over the last 27 years that I've been here because we didn't used to have a lot of the homeless that we had, back then. It wasn't like this. So, and we just had a shooting downtown, 2-3 weeks ago where eight or nine people were shot. Thankfully, nobody died, but it's crazy.
Well,
Yeah.
Salute. I'm out pretty. UK, y'all, I'll be right back. But hey, Vet, love you, dog. Love you, big dog.
Thank you, Army Vet.
Has it slowed down any since they done the wall and stuff?
Has what slowed down, Miss Patricia?
Well, I mean the people getting the drugs and stuff. I know they have a lot of people out there on the street. I was thinking about, since they put in all the security and stuff, has that changed anything?
It's still getting through somehow, but they do. They're every now, every few weeks they'll report a huge drug bust, and the human trafficking is really bad as well. So, and they're really tracking those, and I think it's down. I think the drugs coming across are probably down because the border is so tight. You don't have as many people crossing as you used to. So, there was a really, really good taco place that was down on the south side. Fantastic tacos. And they had like 3 or 4 locations, and the IRS and ICE went in. It was a huge blow up on the news, and it turns out they were smuggling people across the border, using them as employees to pay off their debt to get them across the border. And so it was a huge mess, and they hadn't paid taxes in years. But God, their tacos were fantastic. I think they're back open, but I think a couple of locations are back open. But
yeah,
it's just
I
crazy.
mean, yeah, that just makes me think of the Rico stuff, and it's gonna get me back into Nanos, and I won't do it. I can't do it. I won't do it.
Don't do it. All right, I'm gonna sign off. I gotta head out here.
All right. Well, I appreciate you. You're welcome back anytime you want.
Thank you so much
a few times a week.
invite. It's been awesome. You got a great group of people here. So thank you.
I appreciate you, and nice meeting you.
Yeah, nice meeting you.
Thanks for coming on.
Bye.
Thank you, kid.
Yep. Thank you. Peace.
Bye. All right, everybody go sub up to Kid. That was Annie and Tommaso's neighbor, if y'all haven't gathered. And I'm sorry that I have not been able to be putting comments up like I usually do. When I have someone up, I don't like to, I don't know, be too rude and distracted if I can help it. So anyway, you guys got anything else, or should we wrap it early? Is anyone else on? Can I shamelessly
I don't
plug
know,
one of
but
my cohorts?
I think you had a good live today. That was awesome.
Yeah, and it was, sorry it was super last minute, you guys, but it is what it is. And Astrology for Mystics with Jen is on, if anybody follows her. But yeah, other than that, I think we'll just wrap it. I'm kind of tired, and it just, came all together last minute. I was glad to have him on, obviously. Thank you, mods. You guys are always amazing. Ash for being here, Miss Patricia, Angel Eyes, and of course, Kid. So I'll drop his link in the chat one more time. You guys go sub him up. Super, super nice guy. Very easy to talk to. So glad to have him here. And Army Vet. Yeah. Army Vet. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you, Army Vet. Always.
He got put in my chat a couple times too by a couple of mods over mine. They put his channel in at least twice that I've seen.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you guys. And yeah, I don't know, man. Don't lie on your resumes. Don't make them 6 pages long. Definitely don't care that you were are robbed 40 times, in 2 weeks or whatever, and whatever stupid
Nope.
ass language she used. But don't be an idiot. And if you're an idiot, don't be a sheriff. All right, see you guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Appreciate you.